Let's bring in NBC News Justice correspondent Pete Williams for a clear-eyed look at this. Pete, good morning. You have a piece up right now on NBCnews.com that sort of ticks through the flaws in this case. What's at the center of this? Does it have any standing? Is there any chance the Supreme Court will hear it?
So this lawsuit has been criticized by both conservative and liberal legal experts, especially election law experts, who point out a couple of real serious problems. It is true that when one state wants to sue another, the Supreme Court is where those lawsuits originate. The states first have to ask the Supreme Courts for permission to sue. The problem here is that we don't have national elections. We have a series of state elections. So the question here is, in what way is Texas harmed, or voters in Texas harmed, if the election laws are violated in another state? Now, those states have already litigated those questions about whether election laws were violated in, for example, counting ballots that didn't have signatures or dates on the ballot envelopes. Those states have dealt with those questions. So that's the real serious flaw at the center, according to these legal experts, is that Texas just doesn't have standing. It can't show how it is harmed by, even if there is an election law violation in another state, states that have already determined there wasn't. Second thing is that what Texas is asking the Supreme Court to do is delay Monday's Electoral College vote for those 4 states. It says the matter should still be investigated. The Constitution says that Congress sets the date for when the electors meet, and that date has to be uniform the same day throughout the United States. So these legal scholars say it would be unconstitutional for the Supreme Court to try to delay the election in just 4 of those states, given that it has to be the same day. So those are, I think, the central problem with the legal theory here. They're asking the Supreme Court to do something that's unconstitutional. Texas doesn't have standing. And the other thing is, when you go to the Supreme Court, when one state wants to sue another, the state has to demonstrate that there's no other place to litigate these claims. And in fact, the claims that Texas makes have already been litigated in those 4 states.
So, Pete, we know the Supreme Court was quickly dismissive of the Pennsylvania suit. It was a one-line order. There were no noted dissents, suggesting that all 9 justices agreed to not hear the case. What do you expect here from the Supreme Court?
Well, they're moving very quickly on this one, too, because, as you noted, Willie, the court has told the defendant states that they need to respond to this by today. Now, that's moving at hyperspeed for one of these, what are called original actions, when one state sues another. Original because they originate in the Supreme Court. So they've asked the states for a quick response. It would seem that the court is well aware that Monday is the Electoral College date. And I would be very surprised if the court doesn't act one way or another on this before Monday.
All right, we'll keep our eyes on it. NBC's Pete Williams, thank you very much, as always.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.